Well met, traveler. A nice piece. I recognize Koveras' design. Is this his way of telling me you're worth my time? And I want peace on Avalon. We all have wishes. Bold and straightforward. Qualities we look for among our own. But there's one problem. You aren't of Dalrita blood, which means the grace of the Stone Dream won't be granted to you. So, I can't admit you to our ranks. Our ancient laws say you might, yes, but they're called ancient laws, not simply laws for a reason. If you achieve something great, say a feat of war, the Elder Council might allow you to walk the path, provided someone would stand in as your father. But as I said, it's no old dead law. Our tribes aren't exactly known for their hospitality, let alone naming outsiders as kin. Once, yes, Camelot had written him off, and he joined the knights that never came. Their tomb lies here, at the Forlorn Swords. He never returned to Camelot because he embraced our ways and chose to stay. No surprise he didn't feel like going back to the capital. Don't fool yourself into thinking you'll repeat his story. He barely completed his path, and not a single one of our women would lie with him. And so, that night's line ended. Well, if you've won Koveras' favor, I'm willing to risk giving you a small task. To prove your worth to the Stone Wardens, you must find a weird stone vein. I assume you know what it is. It used to be the first task for any prospective member of our Brotherhood. These days, most deposits are depleted, so the task is a bit harder. I can tell you where to start searching. There was once a rich vein in an old mine to the north. It may yet run deeper. We abandoned it a century ago, so I can't say exactly what you'll find inside, but I can guarantee you'll find something. And on that note, if I were you, I'd bring my best weapon. Until next time. Well met, traveler. Well now, you've done something I didn't think was possible. Truth be told, I only sent you there out of spite. That mine was written off long ago. As a reward, I'll teach you another song. With what you pulled from that vein, I can sing yourself something beautiful.
Darvin, you have to talk to my father. I'm begging you, end this madness.
You're confused, girl. You're asking the Master of the Stone Wardens to stop one of our own from entering the Stone Sleep. Ridiculous. Don't ask me again.
If anyone can stop this, it's you. You can set new rules. Show them the old ways don't have to stay unbroken. If you ever respected my father, please do it for him.
Out of the question. The Stone Sleep is the highest honor in our brotherhood. Only the most steadfast among us are deemed worthy of such a blessing. You should be proud of your father for achieving such grace.
Proud? You're all a bunch of senile fools.
Fusca, Olaf's daughter, fierce and stubborn, as I'm sure you gathered from our disagreement. Not the wisest girl, but I can't deny her spirit. Unfortunately, her grasp of our Brotherhood's principles is sorely lacking. To her, the Stone Sleep isn't the great honor we know it to be. The statues you must have seen scattered across the forlorn swords. They're not just stone. They're our ancestors. They're our ancestors. Those who embraced the sleep and became one with the land they cherished. It's the highest blessing a Stone Warden can achieve. It's something we all aspire to, awaiting the day we might be deemed worthy. You may never experience it yourself. I've never heard of a non-Rita receiving the honor. Then again, few outsiders have joined our ranks. So, who's to say? Ah, young blood. They struggle with tradition, especially when they can see the world crumbling around them. She doesn't want to lose her father. Since her mother passed, he's all she has left. They say no love is stronger than a child's for their parent. I wouldn't know. I never had parents myself. But Olaf is doing what he believes is right. Fusca will have to come to terms with that. Help. There's nothing to fix here. Olaf chose this path long ago, and he's waited years for the sleep. If he wanted to stop it, he would. Whatever his reasons, they're his own. Still, calming that girl might be worth a try. The last thing we need is for her to try something unworthy of the Dalrita in her despair. Until next time.
What do you want, outsider? No, wait! I'm sorry. Everyone says I talk before I think and need to work on my temper. You are an outsider. That wasn't an insult. How foolish of me. Maybe the fact that you're not one of us means you can help. Murder, thank you for opening my eyes. Right. The beginning. My name's Fusca, daughter of Olaf, of the Ulfr tribe. My father is doing something I fundamentally cannot agree with. He's giving up on life because someone convinced him that, as a member of the Stone Wardens, it's the right thing to do. But I think it's pure madness. And I'll do whatever it takes to stop him. Calling? My calling was being brought into this world, wasn't it? And now he wants to abandon me, just like that? All for the sake of tradition? No, my outsider sent to me by Meder. I won't stand by and let him turn to stone just because someone decided to call a curse honor and grace. I asked him to convince my father to delay the sleep. But talking to him is just like trying to reason with a wall. Honestly, I'd throttle the old man myself if it wouldn't get me exiled from the tribe. Traditions, traditions. Everywhere I turn, it's those blasted traditions. Do you know what stone sleep truly is? It's a curse. A curse wrapped in fancy words and false honor. Think about it. The stone sleep is death in slow motion. First, it weighs down your soul, then your body. You stop moving, and the stone creeps over you. You never know if it'll take days, months, or years. You have no idea how long you'll hold on before the stone claims your heart or your mind. And our ancestors thought this was a blessing? To me, it's obvious. It's a curse, plain and simple. Darvan says that because he doesn't understand what it means to be a child to a parent. He grew up among the stone wardens with no warmth, without the love that only a caring parent can give. And traditions, always the traditions. They drilled those into him, a bunch of self-absorbed old fools. Ugh, what was I even thinking going to him? I might as well have talked to a boulder. Honestly, I'm not sure. From what I've heard, there's no way to reverse the stone sleep. But maybe that's just a lie. I do have an idea, although it's risky, at least for me. For you, as an outsider, it shouldn't be too difficult. I'll explain if you agree to help. You could also try talking to my father. Just don't let him drown you in all that honor and tradition nonsense. I've had enough of it, and trust me, you will too. Near our settlement, there's a man called Frost. He's a nameless reader, exiled from our tribe long ago. Frost claims he created a potion that can reverse the stone sleep. I think they cast him out because he defied tradition and saved himself. I can't risk being seen with a nameless. If anyone caught me, it'd be over for me. I'd be as good as exiled, cut off from my father forever. That's why only you can help. No one will suspect you. Great! Give me your map. Here's where you'll find him. May Meder bless you for the help you've offered me.
Stop right there. I don't get many visitors. None I trust, at least. What do you want? I don't care about your name, so don't waste time worrying about mine. Let's just say I'm someone who knows enough to stay alive despite the odds. You ask too much, outsider. Some things are best left buried. Now, tell me why you're really here, or leave before someone less forgiving finds you. Nope, no adventure here. Just me, minding my own business. And I strongly advise you to do the same. Puska. So she still thinks it's worth fighting? I've seen plenty like her father. Stubborn, clinging to their traditions. They never listen, even when the truth is staring them in the face. That girl's got spirit, though. Let's just say I have my own reasons for fighting the sleep. It's a curse, no matter what the Stone Wardens claim. If someone wants to avoid it, I'll do what I can to help. That's all you need to know. Yes, but the story is mine, not yours. What matters is what I can do for you, not what I've been through. Besides, the less you know about me, the safer you'll be. And trust is a luxury I can't afford. Maybe reversing the stone sleep isn't simple, and it's not always possible. The process isn't just physical. It's tied to the soul. If Ulf's already far along, this might only delay the inevitable. What do you need? I won't be the one brewing this potion. Here's the recipe. Just don't come crying to me if you blow yourself up in the process. Don't take too long. Time isn't something Ulf has much of. And remember, don't tell anyone you've been here. If the Ufr catch wind of me, this hiding spot becomes my grave.
Hope nothing bad happens today.
Who goes there? Is it you, Fusca? I'm Olaf, senior journeyman of the Stone Warden's Brotherhood. It's rare I meet anyone from outside the tribes. I've never set foot beyond the Forlorn Swords, so my knowledge of the wider world is limited. And now, as you can see, I'm here to stay. So tell me, what brings you to us? Or perhaps you prefer I share some wisdom instead? Let me guess. Everyone's falling over themselves to answer the call. No? That's what I thought. This isn't the first time Gerfon has called for a moot to unite against Camelot. And, as you can see, no one's eager to show up. The truth is, the Dalriada are tired of war. Old feuds and fighting off the monsters of the weirdness are burden enough. We're too divided, too worn down to take on a fight beyond the Forlorn Swords. Let me guess. Fusca sent you. That girl is so stubborn. I can see her pain. But I've carried my own for long enough. It's time for me to go. And I want to go on my terms. This isn't just about tradition. I want the Stone Sleep. Here, close to Arn, and the others. If you take this from me, you take my dignity and my freedom. What are you doing? No! How could you?
Yes? Do you have any news? So, you used the potion? Thank you, Medder. You have no idea how grateful I am. We don't have much, but please, take my mother's necklace. It's a fine piece of Delrida craftsmanship. You'll get a good price for it. Everything will be fine now. You'll see. With me looking after him, he'll get better in no time.
Yes? Who have you managed to convince? This pleases me greatly. The Svain are the finest sculpts this land has ever known. Their skills will be invaluable in the war, and in shaping Avalon afterward. Allow me, in return for your effort and intervention, to return this piece of armor to you. It will improve your chances in the trials of the King's threat. My own brother, and this is the knife he stabs me with. Yes, that's Darvan for you. As stubborn as the hammer he swings in that massive forge of his. Of course they had to choose him as their next leader. And without the Ulfra tribe, I can't see this war happening. They are our best warriors and smiths. We might as well march on Camelot with our bare asses.
Greetings, Walker in the Weirdness. Your presence heralds the end of our vigil. Skuld sees the weirdness flowing through you. He is impressed. He offers his help and counsel. A swirl of colors surrounds your soul. It's a beautiful sight. The Theud tribe longs to dream Mother's dream. It is our greatest desire, our deepest happiness. Mother told Senja, Skuld's sister, when the one who walks in the weirdness arrives, then your time will come, my children. You will fall into the sleep, and we will be together forever. Everyone aids Senja in her dreaming, except Chieftain Ingvi and your humble servant, Skuld. Because of this, Mother's grace flows upon us all, and Senja's sleep remains strong and true. Yes, Walker in the Weirdness. Thanks to you, they will fall into true sleep. May Mother's light shine upon the moment of your arrival. Mother is everywhere. You can see her image there, towering over our lands. We long to surrender to her. In her warm embrace, we will find eternal shelter. Skuld is not worthy to reveal Mother's secrets, not even to the Walker in the Weirdness. If Chieftain Ingvi decides to tell the Walker more, then it shall be done.
You are here, Walker in the Weirdness. Your arrival heralds change. I am Ingvi. May my stature not surprise you. For the Theud, it is what you bring to the tribe that matters. I bring myself, my skills, and my devotion. I am my tribe's servant. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Theud tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. We sleep to dream the mother's dream. It is sacred to the Theud. Until now, only Senya has dreamed, and before her, a long line of devoted and sensitive Theud warriors. Through the dream, we commune with our guardian giant, the one we call Mother. Now Mother wishes for all of us to join her. She promises to protect us from the weirdness. Mother promises that the strength of the Theud's united dreaming will repel the weirdness and encompass the entire Forlorn Swords. By embracing the dream, the Theuds will protect not only themselves, but all of the Delrida too. The Theuds have long believed the world is heading towards self-destruction, and we are now on the brink of the end times. If there is a way to prevent that, we will do everything in our power to make it so. We are not sure, but we have faith. It has to be enough. We became certain the moment you set foot in our lands. Your arrival was foretold by Mother. She said that when the Walker in the Weirdness arrives, it will be time to fall into the sleep. Through our dream, we will save ourselves from the end of days. You are the Walker in the Weirdness. You can do far more than we ever could. We have tried everything. Magic, diplomacy. Some of us even joined One Eye's rebellion. But it wasn't enough. We needed Mother to show us the way. She said that only by joining her dream in another realm can we truly affect the reality we know. The Gunvalder tribe did the same. They worshipped their giant too. We believe King Arthur entrusted us with his crown for a reason. There's always been a special bond between the Delrida and the giants, going back to the Age of Legends. Perhaps he was the only man who could speak to the giants as an equal. But how could we find out now? The king is dead, and he's not coming back. This is our last chance to make a difference. We need to trust Mother. That's not widely known, but we have our own theory. We believe Arthur bound his essence to the crown, which allowed him to communicate with the giants and gain their allegiance. However, you can't bind your essence to another being without mastering the weirdness first. That's why we believe Arthur must have uncovered the secrets of the weirdness, unlocking the mysteries of the Fordwellers long before he forged his allegiance with the giants. I will keep watch until everyone enters the land of the dreaming. Once they fall into sleep, I'll decide whether or not to join them. I may simply become a nameless, tribeless Delrida. That is my honest answer. It's the only one I can give. Words shape reality. You shouldn't use them unless you're certain of the reality you want to create. How do you think you can help us? Can you do more than walk the weirdness? Can you walk through dreams too? If that's the case, I won't stop you from entering. Mother will decide if you're of use to her. But don't you dare harm her, even if you can. If you do, you'll have the entire Theud tribe against you. That much I'm sure of. As you wish, Walker in the Weirdness. I won't make any decisions about the dreaming until you return with answers. Or the will of the mother.
It gladdens school to see you here, for it means we draw ever closer to Sonder. Behold the dreaming, our true home. Walker in the Weirdness. As I greeted you in the waking world, so do I welcome you once more. The world that withers is no home to us. It is a fleeting mirage where nothing holds, nothing remains. There all crumbles, without meaning, without end. But the dreaming is eternal, and it has a purpose. The deepest of all layers, Sonder. When your arrival ended the vigil, the dreaming began. The final phase of our dreaming is Sonder. Sonder is the moment when we shall become one with Mother's dream, forever entwined. Sonder is also a place deep within the lowest layers of the dreaming. There at last we will be safe, far from the world ensnared by the weirdness. Ingvi believes you may unravel the burdens that weigh upon some of the Theud. Without freeing them from these burdens, they cannot enter Mother's chamber, where each of us must drift into ever deeper dreaming, until at last we reach Sonder. Ingvi's burden is to guard the village of Theud, to safeguard Mother, and to ensure that all members of the Theud tribe journey towards Sonder. She awaits the right sign. When it comes, only then will she choose her fate. Life, unfulfilled duties, feelings that tether the soul, keeping it from sinking into the dreaming's embrace. Each of us carries burdens. Once, we of Theud would end our vigil and return to wakefulness, striving to cast off these burdens through life itself. But your arrival ended the vigil. It began the dreaming, and Theud may no longer wake, not unless such is Mother's will.
You, don't just stand there. Help me find Vilken. I know that filthy swine is hiding somewhere around here. We have to find him. They call me Alfhild. I have sworn to watch over Sinja while she dreams Mother's dream. Now you know who I am, so help me find Vilken. A filthy beast. A mongrel who tried to put his hands where they didn't belong. Oh, how I wish I had cut them off when I had the chance. But he fled. And now he's entered the vigil and I will not, let him go any further. If he dares try to harm her again, I swear... Senya! I swore to protect her. But I failed. I chased Vilken from her bedside, then from the tribe. But he still managed to worm his way into the vigil. I need to find him. As long as he's out there, Senya will never be safe. And I will never be able to join her in Sonder. Because I saw him. I tried to give chase, but he's surprisingly good at slipping away in this place. He cannot be allowed into Sonder. There is no place for the likes of him among the dreaming. His very presence would be like poison. Good. I'll wait for you here. Bring me his head so I can finally dream in peace.
Walker, in the weirdness. You're here. Finally. You have to listen to me. I need to speak with Yngvi. But ever since the dream began, I can't leave this place. She must hear this before it's too late. That's exactly the problem. Sonder is a trap. No one can go there. Especially not Yngvi. Please, I'm begging you. You have to help us. The Giant Mother, the one we believe to be Mather, wants us to become her children, to surrender ourselves to her care. But why did we ever assume she was Mather? Our Mother Goddess was a warrior. She gave us the strength to stand against adversity, to unite against those who seek to destroy the Dalriada. And what is this dream, if not turning our backs on our kin? On the other tribes who still fight? Are we to crawl under Mother's skirt? Sonder is an escape, and now I see it clearer than ever. If we flee into Sonder instead of standing and fighting, we are no longer Dalriada. There is no honor in this. We are on the verge of losing everything. Our identity as Theud, our very souls. I don't know if it'll be enough, but you have to try. Tell Yngvi that Rune reminds her of the duty of every Dalriada. We stand and fight. We dunny run. The Giant Mother is not Mather. She's nothing but a weak, selfish wretch who would see the Theud destroyed. I know my plea must sound desperate. If you grant my request, I'll enter Sonder. I'll be thrown into it whether I want it or no. But if that is the only way to save the tribe, then I will do it. I will sacrifice myself for them.
Behold, Walker, this is one of Mother's earthly faces. She watches over us now in the dreaming, as she once did in the waking world. I believe Mather watches your path with great intent, as do I.
Have you found him? Have you killed him? Oh, thank Mother. Senya is finally safe, and now I can see her again. Thank you. Wait, who are you exactly? You look like an outsider, yet you entered the dreaming. Walker in the weirdness. You. Both thank Mother. That means the vigil will soon end, and we will all be together. And I will see Senya again. I do. I swore to watch over her in her sleep, and it has been an honor, but I miss her presence. I miss the sound of her voice. She's so still when she dreams. I wish she would smile again. Have a good sleep, I guess. Thank you, Walker in the weirdness. Now that wretch is finally gone, I surely will.
Walker in the weirdness. You return. Welcome. Ah, Runa. I suppose that means you simply must tell me whatever it is, just because it is his wish. He has told you, I hope, how much he longed to become chieftain. He tried everything to be chosen. One of those attempts nearly cost me my life. But among the Theud, ambition is one of the gravest sins. That is why I was chosen as chieftain. I was the only one who did not seek it. I was chosen, as is the way of the Theud. I couldn't refuse. It was the will of the tribe. As for Runa, he would have thrived as an Ulfrite. I have no idea how he managed to pass our trials. Whatever he's asked of you, know this. Runa has his own reasons for stirring up trouble. So tell me, what is it this time? Does he now? And he's only just come to this realization. Now that he's in there, and I'm stuck here. Let me guess. He wants to switch places. To take the chieftain's seat while there's still a tribe left to lead. An escape? That is what I feared. I never would have thought Runa and I could be of the same mind. You're voicing my own concerns. Theud, the forefather of our tribe, was a warrior. We have never forgotten his teachings. And Mother? Who knows? Maybe we've given too much meaning to something that, in the end, is just another creature. Immortal and mystical she may be, but she still has her own goals and desires. The difference between us is that I face my challenges, while Runa flees from his at all costs. Taking him at his word would be naive, but I cannot ignore what he says. I bear a great responsibility. On the one hand, there is the myth the Theud have followed for centuries. On the other, my own doubts, and the opinion of a man who's known to work against me. Tell me, Walker in the weirdness, you do not share our burdens. What would you do in my place? I will. You have my word. You, walker in the weirdness, see things in a way the Theud cannot. We've always placed our trust in intuition. And if mine tells me there may be truth in Runa's words, perhaps I should heed by it. Thank you for your involvement. My duty as chieftain is to hear the voices of my entire tribe, even those who are not respected, like Runa. You may leave me to my thoughts now.
Now everything is in Yngvi's hands. I trust she will make the right choice.
You are the walker in the weirdness. You walk where few dare. I don't feel worthy of asking for your help. I need help. Not for myself, but for those I have failed. My mate Sidara, my friend Bodil, and I went to the Giant's Barrow. We sought knowledge, a sign that we still walked toward Mother's dream. But what we found instead was ruin. Bodil, our companion, did not return. And Sidara, the White's touch took hold of her. She's no longer herself, not truly. Find Bodil. End his suffering. And Sidara, she still sleeps, but her soul cannot rest. They must be freed from this curse. Then, at last, we will have peace. We will join Mother in her sleep. Bodil's earthly vessel might still be in the White's lair. As for Sidara, she sleeps in our hut, beside me. I feel her. So close yet so distant. Please, bring back my loved ones. Free their souls. Then, maybe we can find ourselves again. Join the Mother.
Ho ho ho, you're here. Munvarth knew you'd come, even before we headed to the Mother's chamber. They call me Jarnsfur, because that's my name, Jarnsfur. So that's why they call me that. Makes sense, doesn't it? The Mother's chamber, where we'll dream forever. Munvarth says great black ships that devour the sky will take us there. I don't know if that's true. He makes things up sometimes. Like that time he told me he brought me a giant's tooth. Turned out to just be a regular old walnut shell. He's my friend. My raven friend. I mean, he's a raven. Feathers, wings, a beak, all the raven things. And he's the reason I'm worried. Well, not really him, actually. It's my stupid head. Always forgetting things. Before I entered the Mother's dream, I told myself, Jarnsfur, remember to let Munvarth out. And, of course, I forgot. Damned useless head, and rip it off my shoulders and toss it into the abyss if I could. Yeah, he talks to me a lot, and sometimes he says things that make me really wonder how he even knows them. When I asked him, he just said it's a raven secret. But funny thing, he only talks when it's just the two of us. If anyone else is around, he clams up like a corpse. You know, that could actually be it. I mean, I never thought of myself as a mystic. I always figured I was just spouting nonsense. But maybe I'm actually speaking in mysticisms. Oh, that would explain why I forget everything. My head is filled with mystical secrets beyond mortal comprehension, and there's no room left for mundane things. His cage. And the cage is back at the house. But not here, on the other side. You know, in the waking world. Because we're in a dream right now, right? Sometimes I mix it up and forget where I even am. It's this stupid head of mine, I swear. If Munvar stays in that cage, he'll starve to death. I left him food, but not enough to last a lifetime. Well, I mean, it'll last a lifetime. Just a short one. You don't have to rub it in. I already feel bad enough. Not only did I leave him, but as long as I carry this worry, I can't go deeper into the dream. You will. I'd do it myself, but I can't go back anymore. For Theud's, dreams are a one-way journey. Both Munvarth and I would be forever grateful. Here, this is the key to his cage. It works like any key. Just stick it in the lock and turn it. I hope I can travel back to the waking world. And please, make sure to apologize to Munvarth for me.
Eithrom, my beloved. Eithrom, Eithrom.
I felt it. The weight, it is lifted. Their souls are free, and now there is only one more task to be done. You must send me to her. Wherever Sidara may be, I will follow. And I know we will be closer to Mother then. More than I have ever been. But listen, my body still clings to this world. The flesh resists what the soul has already accepted. When the moment comes, I may fight. Not because I wish to, but because I am still bound to this place. Still outside Sonder. Not hesitate. Strike true. And when I am gone, let the wind carry my name to Mother. And yet, there is no other way. If you will not raise your blade, then I must raise mine. Not out of hate, not out of fear, but so you do not have to make the choice yourself. Forgive me.
Hello, it is you. Did you manage to free him from the cage? Thank you. I hope he finds a new home, or at least some other ravens to keep him company. And I can already feel my burden lifting. Now I can join Mother and Senya in their chamber.
You have come, walker in the weirdness. Jarnsfor, Rune, Alfild, Thrym. You do not yet grasp the weight you have lifted from their shoulders. No matter how great or small their burden, it still bound them, kept them from journeying towards the deepest layer of the dreaming. But now they may step into Mother's chamber, and you shall be granted this privilege as well. After all, this is why you are here, is it not? You shall see my sister, Senja, and Mother, whose dreams we have shared, and in whose dreams we long to become one. Yes, that is why you will enter Mother's chamber, Walker. The choices that must be made shall be made within. No matter the outcome, you have the gratitude of all Theud. Were it not for you, we could not have embraced the dreaming. we could not have stood before Mother's chamber. Do not fear. No harm will come to you in the dreaming. I know that you are expected, Walker. Indeed, the time has come.
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the lost Theud children face their burdens, the weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. You seek the legacy of the one who brought so much suffering. I do not know if you come to me searching for pain, truth, or hope. But now I understand. You need the support of the tribes to face what slumbers beneath the earth. Tell me, human child, why? Why should I stop waiting for Ingvi and release her from her journey toward Sonder? Her burden is lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin. All for the ambitions of one old man. Rebuilding old myths will not undo the inevitable. The past is a graveyard, Walker. If you keep chasing it, if you keep digging up what was buried long ago, you will find yourself in a grave before long.
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Theud tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the sacred pact, but you will have to manage without the Theud. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. And I will save them from this world's corruption. You? How could you? Here you are, at the mercy of the mortal whose body, soul, and mind you have infected. I'm glad to see you trapped so, Arthur. But as for your words, human child, how can I be sure you'll follow through on this decision? Do you know, Walker, why we have always been drawn to games and wagers? Why we were willing to stake our fate on the roll of a die? Because nothing was ever truly ours. Even as giants, we were bound by the weirdness, by those who could wield it. But a wager is freedom. In an instant, your fate is placed on a precarious scale. It is the only law that does not enslave. It allows a choice. And so, of course, I accept. Even if I never see the outcome, I will dream of all the possibilities. I release Ingavi from her journey to Sonder. May she carry the burden of the Theud who remain in the waking world. But you, leave now and let us dream.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I don't know what to say. Has Mother sensed my doubts? My true burden? Deep down, I've always felt that Sonder was not my destiny. I envied Theud for joining One-Eye's rebellion and getting to see the world. I envied Taranis for his work with the Alchemists Guild. Now I will have the chance to know real life. But I cannot be the elder of a tribe with no tribe. Perhaps I will join those who refused Mother's call. For the first time in my life, I feel free. The Theud. We have long been divided between those who follow Mother and those who were deaf to her call. Or at least, that's what we believed. That they were cowards, unfaithful, ungrateful wretches. But I was never convinced by those words. To me, they were simply brothers who dared to walk their own path, even at the cost of eternity. Deep down, I admired them. I am still Theud, and I am young. When I come of age, I can bring more Theud into this world, perhaps even with the help of those who return home one day. It's hard to say, but I don't truly care. They will either accept us, or they won't. But who knows? Perhaps this time we will grow closer to them. I've always thought they envied our direct connection to Mother. With Mother gone, perhaps we will finally build a true rapport. I am certain they will be. They will believe what they choose to believe. It will be a new beginning. My role as elder was to guide the Theud of old to the dreaming. But those who come after them will live in the waking world, and I will guide them too. At last, I will be allowed to grow up, and I'll admit, I cannot wait. I know I will always wonder what Sonder would have been like, and I know my heart will grieve for my kin. But something tells me this path is not closed to me forever. If there truly is a place we go after death, perhaps it is Sonder. That would also align with Runa's claim that Sonder is a trap, and that, in truth, everyone dies before entering Sonder. Maybe he was right. If so, then when I die, my soul will awaken in Sonder. I will see my tribe again. And finally, I will meet Mother. That is what I have decided to believe. I don't know how Gerfan will react to an elder without a tribe, but, well, he summoned me, so I will come. There is a reason why the Theud made me their elder. My power, despised by the other Delrida, is truly unrivaled. And on the battlefield, a skilled Theud is worth 10 Volker warriors steeped in Mather's fury. See you at the moot, Walker in the Weirdness. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yes? Who have you managed to convince? How did you manage to convince the Theud tribe? They've always kept to themselves, no matter the hardships we faced. You've done the impossible, and I want to give you an artifact the Theud tribe once guarded. Here, a part to the king's armor they were tasked with guarding. It will aid you as you face the challenges of the king's threat.
Halt! No entry, outsider. And you've got the seal. Funny how he only remembers us when he needs something. Fine. Go on then, and speak with our chieftain, Angsver. Just try not to piss him or anyone off. The only other way out of this village is a long drop straight down.
You don't belong here. Mother speaks and I listen. She says you must be tested. That's more like it. A true warrior doesn't shy from battle. Come on then, let's see what you're made of. Mother watches. Prove yourself or fall like the rest.
So you're the one who lit up the sad old pillar. You almost caused a stir among those sad lumps. Almost. So, I guess you're not exactly what they've been waiting for. But you've certainly piqued my curiosity. This tribe. Once hailed as mighty warriors. Now they're just sitting around, waiting for someone to save them. If it's not their matron they're hoping for, then it's for the pillar to flood the village in scarlet light. They've lost their purpose and are desperate for someone to give it back to them. That's what they call their priestess. She disappeared long ago and never returned. The Volker claim she took Mater's favor with her, leaving them cursed. They act like a spoiled child whose mother suddenly got cross with them, and they can't understand what is happening. It should be amusing, but somehow it's not. That's a good question. The pillar reacted to me when I first arrived, although very faintly. And now it's reacting to you for some undeniably fascinating reasons I'd love to hear about. But here's the real puzzle. Why does the pillar respond to creatures touched by the weirdness? And what exactly are they waiting for if nothing is ever enough? I doubt even Angsvar could answer that, but you should ask him anyway. I'm quite curious to hear what he'll tell you. Meet me later at the temple, fellow brother in the weirdness. I have a feeling we'll have plenty to talk about.
Greetings, stranger. I'm Angsvar, the chieftain of the Volker tribe. What brings you here? Ah, Taig. Taig was a problem. The poor man had gone mad. He claimed to hear Mother's voice, that the goddess was commanding him to fight and die a noble death. Someone would have granted him that death long ago. It would have been kinder than his torment. But defeating a madman in combat brings no honor, so he suffered. And we suffered alongside him. Your act was an act of mercy. It's good that someone finally took it upon themselves to do it. We'll need to inform Helmi, Taig's widow. It's best if you handle it. Offer her your condolences. And don't worry, she'll understand that it had to be done. With our luck, it couldn't have ended any other way. But the totem, was it with her? If so, we can at least name her successor. Could it be that Mother is finally smiling upon us? Thank you. Feels like seeing the first light of dawn after a night that refused to end. But this isn't the end of our misfortunes. Elspeth, the girl chosen to be the next matron, took her own life today. Threw herself onto the rocks. Hard to say. It's been a dark time for all of us. But maybe she had her own burdens. Ones we never saw. Shame she chose such dishonor. Shame she did it. Certain. She was well liked. Nobody would have had anything to gain from her death. And I refuse to believe that any Volker would kill their own kin. Especially not a matron-to-be. We need a matron. And if she won't name one, I'll have to do it myself. It goes against tradition. But I don't have a choice. Maybe you should check Elspeth's hut. See if she left any notes or hints about who should follow her. Really? Me? A representative of the madmen forsaken by Mother? Does he think I don't know we're the joke of the other tribes? What? Does he want them to laugh in my face instead of behind my back? That's what we are in the eyes of the other Dalrita. Sure, they respect our berserker's fury, when it's not too frequent, and when it happens to serve their battles. But deep down, they see it as madness. They're afraid that in our rage, we might mistake them for the enemy. An agreement. For centuries, every tribe has only looked out for itself. A single conversation isn't going to change that. Besides, with the others there, we'll never be treated as equals. That's just the way it's always been. Unfortunately, I must refuse. The vocal tribe will not join the moot. We have our own issues to attend to. There is one thing, but I'm not sure you can do much about it. It's embarrassing to ask an outsider for help, but I have no other choice. Not far from the village, there's a hill that used to be the seat of our elders. At least, it was. Until bandits moved in and likely killed everyone there. They've destroyed the bridge, fortified the stronghold, and now they sit there, practically spitting in our faces. I know. We've fallen far. Once, we were a proud tribe. Now, we're stuck watching petty thugs parade around our own land. Mother is clearly showing us what she thinks of us. We did. We lost too many good warriors. We underestimated them. On top of that, many Volker left to join One Eye. So our numbers are thin. We don't even have our Berserker potion. We lost it, along with Mother's grace. Yes, but if my warriors couldn't do it, I don't expect you to manage it alone. Still, maybe if you could sneak in there somehow and... I don't know. Either way, anyone who helps drive those dogs off our land will be rewarded. I appreciate your courage, though I hope it is courage and not just foolish bravado.
Oh, Tiga. What have you done? Why did you leave me like this? So brave, yet so foolish. What am I supposed to do now? Oh! You startled me. Barging into a Delrida woman's house without knocking. You're lucky to still be breathing. Wait, you're the one who gave him a good death, aren't you? I'm Helmi. Yes, Tiga was my husband. And I suppose I should thank you. I'm only sorry that Tiga is gone. But I am grateful to you. You acted honorably, allowing him to challenge you. No one else was willing to do it. The Delrida think fighting a madman is dishonorable, as if madness could be caught like a sickness. Madder, help me, it's utter nonsense. My poor Tiga. He'd be the first I'd like to kill. But without my husband and without my calling, I don't know what would happen to me if they cast me out. Well, I'll manage somehow. I've survived one heartbreak with Mother. I'll survive another. Now, please, just leave me alone. I don't believe Mother was speaking to him. And I know what I'm talking about. Before I got married, my greatest dream was to become the Volker matron. But I believe that he believed it. That's why they thought he was mad. If I had become a priestess, Tega would still be alive. I would have loved him from afar, but at least he'd still be here. It's hard not to. Maybe there was something I could have done. Maybe I missed some symptoms, signs that his illness was getting worse. It's nice of you to try and comfort me, but I need to deal with my grief on my own. Though I'll admit, right now, I'd gladly kill half of my tribe. Especially those who refuse to grant him a good death. I'd be lying if I said it's the dream of every little Volker girl. It's the most respected position for a woman in our tribe. But it's also the heaviest responsibility. If Meder's voice truly exists, it doesn't speak with words. You feel it in your soul. It's a calling. And her voice was screaming inside me. I truly wanted to give myself to her. But the elders decided I wasn't fit for the role. And then there was Tega, whom I learned to love in time. Easy or not, it was my calling. And I truly believed I was the right choice. But the elders said I was too hot-headed to bear that responsibility. Me? Hot-headed? Can you believe that? I'm just being honest. There's nothing wrong with wearing your heart on your sleeve. If every Dilrida was as honest as I am, our tribes would have united and supported each other long ago. No one's going to try and convince me otherwise. Maybe he was. He definitely hadn't been himself lately. You see, my Tega was never a particularly pious man. I sent him to appease Madar with an offering once when my health began to fail. I won't lie. I was frustrated with my own weakness because going to the temple had always been both my duty and my joy. But Tega went there because he loved me deeply. That's when it all started. I recovered, but he kept going to the temple. Sometimes multiple times a day. He said Madar was speaking to him and that it was his duty to listen to her. He said the fate of our marriage and the fate of all the Volker depended on it. The problem was he started taking all the food we had and we began to go hungry. That's when the real arguments started. So what fate of our marriage was he even talking about? Now that I think about it, it was such a stupid reason to fight. I should have gone with him, found out what he was talking about. But what's done is done. Tega's dead. Go ahead if you want to. I've been there myself, but Madar didn't say a word to me, as you can probably imagine. But who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe there really is something that reveals itself only to the chosen. If you find it, kill it for me, in Tega's memory.
Blessings. Not Mather, as you've probably guessed. I'm frail. That's what they call me when they cast me out of my tribe. I took refuge here because I thought it best to hide in plain sight. Please, don't turn me in. I'll die out there in the wilderness. Nothing wrong, I swear. I take some offerings from the altar when no one's looking. But no much. Just enough so nobody notices. Sometimes people come seeking comfort, and some want to hear Mather's voice. I'm no Mather, but I can't turn a blind eye to a suffering soul. But you don't look like a Volker to me. I'm no wrong, am I? Perhaps you'll grant me the mercy I won't find among the tribes. I'm no harming anyone here, I swear. Tige. Such a poor, good boy. So misunderstood. He'd give his life for his wife. But I doubt she knows that because the poor lad can't get a word in edgeways. Oh, she's always complaining that she'd sacrifice herself to Mather for him. But between you and me, she was never fit to become a princess. Too eager and aggressive. And Tige, he's such an honest man, truly. He could have done better. What do you mean? Dead? What happened? Oh, I've been so worried about him. He's been gone for so long, but death... Oh, Tige. You gave him an honourable death, and that means you have honour. Your mother should be proud of you, even if she's not Dalraita. I thought I was helping him. He would come to me, talk about his problems with Helmi. I helped him the best I could. I comforted him, like a good mother should. Mather is our mother. I just wanted to help her out. Give that nice boy some hope, in honour of my own children, who now gaze upon Mather's face. My fate is now in your hands. I wouldn't be able to best you in a duel. What is your decision? I see. I don't have anything to live for anyways. Tige was my only joy. Gave my life meaning. It's time to join my children. May Mather watch over our souls.
So my Tige never lost his honor. He was deceived. At least now he can rest in peace. His name no longer stained by madness. Oh, if only I could get my hands on that blasphemous wretch! Tell me, who is she? Have you killed her? You're telling me some nameless wretch caused my husband's death? That she dared to call herself the voice of Meder? She defiled everything that mattered to me. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked you to kill her. Death is not enough for an insult like this. So now it's my fault? You're saying Tige's death is on me? I appreciate what you've done for him, but I won't stand here and be insulted in my own home. Get out before I lose my temper.
We're not alone. Your money or your life? We're not alone. You're in for a world of hurt. You'll regret this. Oh, is that so? We're not alone. We'll make short work of you. You're finished. We have company. This is my lucky day. Did you hear something? Your road ends here. You're not back for our band. I'm not beaten yet. Keep your wits about you. Someone's out there. Stay focused. You're in for a world of hurt! Someone's out there! Belongs to us now. You're no match for our battle. You're no match for our battle.
Watch yourself, outsider.
Really? How? No, don't tell me. Let it stay between you and Mother. I feel she has a hand in this. Thank you for stepping up for us. I promised a hefty reward, and now it's yours. And since Mother helped with reclaiming the seat of the Elders, maybe her grace will also guide us with the matter of the empty temple. Frigg, the matron who served there, disappeared one fateful day. We searched everywhere, but it was no use. It was like she vanished into thin air. The sacred totem of Mother, passed down from matron to matron, disappeared with her. Without it, we can't appoint a successor, and the temple has remained empty ever since. It's hard to blame her. She left after the massacre of Gunvalder. Her daughter was with a man from that tribe, and was in the village when it happened. Frigg was furious that we didn't come to their aid. But tell me, would anyone have helped us if the situation had been reversed? Of course not. I've spent years questioning whether I made the right decision back then. Even now, I don't have an answer, and I no longer have the strength to dwell on it. You're right. Only a matron can brew the sacred potion that allows us to enter the battle frenzy. Without it, the Volker tribe isn't worth much. We gave up searching for her a long time ago. It's pointless. Mother made her judgment clear, but if you're set on trying anyway, speak with Bride. You'll know more than I do.
Looking for something useful or just passing time? Still walking, still breathing? Looking for some...
his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit. You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already. You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we've won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything. This land, it had a glorious past. But it has no future. There is no way to save it. I know. I see it now. And it was my decision that cost them the ability to grow and change. I may have been right about the diagnosis. Now I see I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Foredwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were. And I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man I once knew. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Once and future king, you return. Speak your will through the mortal you now inhabit. Is it time for us to awaken? The Del Rita were our eyes through long centuries of subjugation. We honor their fierce and burning spirits, but we know their rule would be merciless and drenched in blood. The giants know that bloodshed must be halted. Your will shall be done.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants? So, our war plans were nipped in the bud. Once again our king rises, and once again he takes a stand against the most loyal of his people. If it wasn't clear before, it is now how little the tribes mean to you, how little they always meant. We will remember that all we can ever expect from you, our king, is betrayal.
It is you. I wasn't expecting such a grandiose visit, my king. And I see that you were brought here by some lad. That's kind of you, stranger. But you'll have to pardon the mess. These halls ain't fit to welcome a king, nor the one who bears him within. Ah, right. Sometimes I forget that not everything's as clear as it once was. Truth be told, I tend to lose sight of a few important things myself. But to the point, my name is Gavonin. I'm a craftsman, a blacksmith, and the keeper of this place. The pleasure is mine, kind lad. And your grace, of course. This, kind lad, is the tomb of the knight who never came. There was once a grim legend that claimed this tomb was built out of fear. Fear of an ancient curse Morgana cast upon Arthur. She foretold that all the great knights who were denied the king's favour and honours would rise at the end of days as an army of the dead. They would march on Camelot, seize the capital, shatter the Round Table to dust, defile the royal relics, and from the ruins, forge a kingdom of their own. But those are just stories from the old days. This tomb opens only for two kinds of brave souls. Knights who were never granted a seat at the Round Table, and the king himself. I've been sitting here long enough to know what kind of knight visits the tomb. And your visit is unlike any other. No, I would cease to be. I'm bound here by an oath I made to his grace. The one who now dwells within you, but is perfectly fine. It is my home, and so it shall remain for all time.
Anyone who finds their way here usually comes seeking eternal rest. And rest like that calls for a proper gravestone. I carve each one with my own chisel. They also bring battle-scarred equipment. My hammer mends what needs mending, so it will serve them well in the land of the dead. And the dead? Well, they need a keeper. Someone to watch over them when unrest stirs. Believe me, those who chase glory in life don't always lie in peace. Really kind of you, lad, but no. Or, well, maybe there is something. You see, I once made a habit of carving gravestones in advance, so that any knight arriving here could choose the one beneath which they'd rest for eternity. Unfortunately, I've misplaced me chisel. It slipped and fell all the way into the depths. Clang, clang, clang. If you could find it, I would be most grateful. If we do not speak of them, then we won't stir their slumber. The dead prefer silence. Best not to call their names. Aye, few in nights these days, and even less knighthood to speak of. No wonder that so few of them come. Such are the times we live in. Hope you find something worth your time.
Kept us waiting. Your tombs gathered quite a lot of cobwebs and spiders. Best tidy up a little. Ah, of course. Of all the forgotten knights who never came, you stand closest to the king. When you finally join us, you'll tell us what it was like to hear his voice, to share so many battles by his side. I won't deny my envy, but in death, you'll be our equal. And then we'll speak as comrades. I've met many who said the same, loudly and proudly, like it meant something. Their bones now line forgotten crypts, still clutching that same bold promise. Sooner or later, you'll find yourself on my side of existence. So yeah, no bold promises, unless they carry some potential to be fulfilled. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so unless, of course, you're pointing out that I'm not in my own grave, in which case, fair enough. But what can I say? I do enjoy the occasional posthumous strolls. I came to this tomb of my own accord, as did many of us. I knew our time was drawing to a close. The gates opened, and so I entered. I had a few words with Govanon and then headed to the crypt prepared for me. With my own gravestone on my back, I treated it as my penance. Sometimes, when men want something badly enough, they're capable of truly awful things. I killed 5 knights. Each one stood higher than me in the race for a seat at the round table. 4 I cut down during a tournament. The last I drowned in a river. He was drunk as a skunk. Didn't even comprehend what was happening. Quite the burden to repent for, wouldn't you say? Fine, lad. If someone's to watch over my corpse, I'm glad it's him. I imagine long ago he had more to do. It's been a while since anyone new passed through. I see. You pity the wretch who never reached his dreams. How noble of you, truly. But I propose something fairer. Let's test it. Your cause, my worth. If I lose with dignity, I am all yours. If you still consider me a good candidate for service, but if you fall, then you'll lie in the tomb that's been waiting for you since before you drew your first breath. So, what do you say? Splendid. Let's begin. Lost. Oh, how I missed that rush. As I promised, I'll serve the 2 of you. Here is my oath. I shall be ready to fight at your side whenever you should call upon me. Thank you.
glad to see you alive. You did? I was starting to fear that one day I'd have to descend to the lower levels myself. I try not to go that deep. Makes me drowsy. Sometimes I feel like lying down in one of the empty tombs myself. Thank you. It is a great honor to receive aid from the king and his companion. Here, take this. I hope you both will find it useful. Ah, Savas still lingers then. I'm not surprised. Some knights wear death like a cloak, and even the grave forgets to close behind them. As for the empty grave, every soul that walks this tomb finds their name carved somewhere. It doesn't mean the end is near, only that the place remembers who you are, even if you forget. When the body finally rests in the grave, the epitaph completes itself. Step carefully.
It must be hard to be denied what you believed was your destiny. To spend your life chasing the unattainable, only to die unfulfilled. It's no wonder they can't find peace. There is a grave ready for all of us somewhere. Though, maybe not all of us get to see it before it's our time. Did it frighten you? Such a stark reminder of your mortality. No one truly does. Fear of death is woven into us, as surely as breath. But it's not death itself we fear. It's what we leave unfinished. You've seen how it lingers, how it torments those meant to be at peace. Live without regrets, and you'll have nothing to fear when your time comes. Another night still waits in the mist.
Won't even let me rest in peace. I swore to protect him until the day I died, and I did. I don't feel obligated to serve him anymore. I earned my rest. It's not my fault the weirdness woke me, and I know exactly who to blame. The one who kept coming back, growing stronger, and ruining our peace.
Let me speak to him, young one. Galahad, my friend, we come to you in our hour of need.
It wasn't enough to tamper with immortality on your own. You had to drag us into it too. Do you know, it was only after I died that I understood what you'd done. Becoming a Four-Dweller, Arthur. Really?
I've always valued your counsel, Galahad. But we were losing the war, and you were no longer at my side. I had no choice but to try becoming as powerful as they were.
Nonsense. There's always a choice, and you have made the worst one. How could you fraternize with the enemy? Go against everything we fought for? You're right. I wasn't there. If I had been, I'd have beaten you to death with my bare fists before letting you follow the advice of that old charlatan.
It was my choice, not Merlin's.
Keep telling yourself that. I know the truth. I always knew the old man was a manipulator, and you had too much on your shoulders to see what he was really doing.
I respect your opinion, Galahad. I only regret that we meet under these circumstances.
As do I. So, what now? You're taking my remains for a little trip, and I'm supposed to serve you again? Not that you're giving me a choice. If you take me from this place, my essence will be bound to your will. I never really had a choice, did I? The war, your transformation, it would have happened with or without me.
Probably, yes. But now, at least we can see it through to the end.
Do what you want. It's not like I have a choice. This will be the last time you hear me fully aware.
Then, is there anything you want to say to me, Galahad?
Just one thing. May the weirdness take you, traitor.
And so, it is done. Now everything rests in your hands. Their souls, and the fate of Avalon. There is. But before I explain, understand this. I haven't lied to you. What we've done has helped. Those tormented souls, and Avalon itself. But it's not the whole story. Arthur and his king still need to be released into the Wordness. I can make that happen. Not yet, but it's a choice you'll have to face when the time comes. Nothing. Avalon will go on, as it always has. But ask yourself, is that the right path? Should people live in fear of the Wordness, generation after generation? Should they carry on, haunted by an incomprehensible threat? Or should they be allowed to embrace it, to become part of it, without fear? Arthur and his knights are the pillars of humanity in Avalon, and His Majesty's soul is unique, part human, part Foredweller. It's the best combination we could hope for, if we want to survive here. Releasing their souls into the Wordness would leave a permanent mark of humanity on this land. The Wordness wouldn't see us as intruders anymore, but as part of itself. Arthur and his knights worked tirelessly to make Avalon ours. This is their chance to finish what they started. No, I want them to be more. My people may be close to the Wordness, but even we aren't immune to its more violent moods. What I want is for the people of Avalon to embrace the Wordness, and for it to embrace them in return. Thank you. That's all I ask. And before you go, there's one last thing I'd like to do. I hereby welcome you as a full member of the Royal Geographers. May you carry the legacy of Iryu the Fast Rider and Eleanor Dunn. May your paths be clear, your burdens light, and may Avalon remember your name. Farewell, traveler. I hope our paths cross again.
Oh, hello there. Hello there. Hello.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, Lancelot. It was painful to watch what became of him. Confident, steadfast, eloquent. Nothing like the tormented soul you've seen. He was admired by the people and by his fellow knights. He had quite the following, though he never seemed to care for it. Only later did I realize how wrong I had been. He was also much sought after. Left a trail of broken hearts wherever he went. But there was only one he ever held in his heart. And that was Avalon. I always believed Lancelot to be honest to a fault. He never hesitated to speak his mind. And I valued that in him as much as his loyalty. I trusted him completely. And I thought his faith in me, in my vision for Avalon, was just as strong. But it wasn't. I don't know when or how that trust was lost. And to this day, it still pains me. But know this, even in betrayal, Lancelot never sought to serve himself. He was a good man. Yet even the best of men can falter and lose their way. I forgave him long ago. What saddens me is that he still cannot forgive himself. But I understand why. The rebellion he led hurt not only me, it wounded all of Avalon. And Lancelot always hated senseless bloodshed. To be the cause of so much suffering, perhaps fighting by our side will finally bring him peace. Galahad. I should have known he wouldn't be too happy about being brought back, but I hoped he'd died in peace and would return in peace. I was wrong. War isn't a time when you can afford likes and dislikes. Galahad was a great warrior. He made decisions no other commander dared to. But would he have been a good leader in times of peace? I doubt it. That's why news of his death in battle came as a relief to me. Men like him, once they gain momentum, are nearly impossible to stop. In that regard, he and Galahad the Pure were quite alike. He led a dangerous expedition, one of the most important of the Age of Conquest. Had it succeeded, the war might have ended much sooner, but it didn't. And so the fighting went on. After the war, I had his remains recovered and this tomb built. Over time, he came to be seen as a noble martyr. But who he really was, well, you've seen that for yourself. I regret the fate he met. Let's make sure his sacrifice wasn't in vain. Meeting him made me reflect on one thing. How many great knights were swallowed by their ambition to sit at the round table. Somewhere along the way, things must have gone terribly wrong. If men could kill one another for something that was meant to be an honor, I pity the lost knights of this world. I'm glad this one will have a chance to fight at his king's side and serve me, as he always wished to.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step from the end? It's best if you just go forth and see for yourself. To greet you, I was once where you are now. A knight with questions, searching for answers. That search led me to this place. And here I found my answers. Now it's your turn. Just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you've stepped through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on. He's waiting for you.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truth buried in Avalon shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. I tried, and I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the King's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back. You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. It won't. This time, Arthur will be whole. A king must be more than power. He must be human. That balance is what will save Avalon. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. They will follow him. That's what people do. When weirdness comes to their doorstep, they'll beg for a savior. And Arthur will answer the call. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us. and no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it so much? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow. They waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon, or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn, let it rot, let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall. Let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down, to see the last lie collapse under its own weight. What comes after, that's for the ones still standing to figure out. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight, and when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while, maybe they won't. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure, another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. I've lived longer than any man should, seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment, this chance, to end it all, to end him. Arthur isn't Avalon's hope. He's its curse. He's the chain that keeps it bound to the past, dragging it down no matter how far it tries to climb. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later. Always. This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined, but now, here we are. You've done what no one else could, what even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together, almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
the one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed, all because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, a weapon to wield against the weirdness. But symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. Let me die. Not as Arthur. Not as the king. Just as a simple, normal human being. Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, another lie to keep the world spinning. But please, not for me. Not anymore. I've had enough. I don't want another chance. I want this to be over. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is, to finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all my failures? To not see my memory tarnished, my plans, goals, and ambitions dragged through the mud? to not see the suffering my name causes. No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones. Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you, because whatever you decide, it will finally be your choice, not mine, not theirs. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with, Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. Use it. Take it for yourself, or give it to someone else. I don't even want to know. Do what you will with it. Just let me go. Let me finally rest. Let me die. Please.
Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Go on. He's waiting for you.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will shape the world to become its witness. Then the idea shall be claimed, its shape worn, its burden made yours. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuses to be forgotten.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend. But promise me you will learn from my mistakes.
No, I won't let this happen. Not Not again.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me! And now you think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon. Perfect this time.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of a king was now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. The men here stayed in Kuanacht, but Yvain failed to rally the minds and hearts needed for his Grail quest. With no clear leaders and rising tension, both Kuanacht and Camelot grew fragile, drifting toward division, with no one left to hold the line. You awakened the giants and gave their strength to Camelot, ending the Dar Rita rebellion before it could ignite. In time, a new generation rose among the tribes, learning to coexist under Camelot's banner, no longer feared as savages, but respected as part of Avalon's future. Firgas was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brandon unable to rally the Dar Rita of the Forlorn Swords, the South remained divided. Firgas prepared Camelot's forces to reclaim the region by strength, determined to restore unity through conquest if necessary. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South with the Horns of the South at his side. The Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, remained divided, leaving the South strong but isolated. Without wider unity, his rule endured for a time. The future beyond his leadership remained uncertain. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot chose to remain in Kuanacht, and the people stayed with him. Over time, they grew to trust him and often sought his wisdom. In time, he took on an apprentice, planting the first seeds of a new druidic tradition. Eothra left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Ailey turned to the merchants for support, and for a time the hospital prospered. But when they began charging patients for care, she walked away and opened her own small practice, refusing to serve profit over healing. Ingui turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Theud among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Dav Hamra's leadership, the Ulf grew stronger but more isolated. The tribe and the Stone Wardens became one, bound by a new symbol of strength, a steady hand against the chaos beyond their borders. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the Svine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dal Rita and guided them to settle in the Mather mines. You stood as her protector, and the Bee Queen believed you understood her purpose. But from the ruins of Brock Mala, her brood now spreads unchecked, and the South must bear the weight of your promise. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember.